Hey guys, welcome to episode 187 of The Cat Lady. My name is Andrea, also known as The Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, C-A-T-T, which stands for Craft All the Things. My name is Andrea. Did I say that already? It is Tuesday. I don't think I did. It is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, I am primarily a knitter, crocheter, type of crafter, but I also have a sewing machine. I have a Cricut maker. I have a whole closet full of stuff. I have a whole wall full of stuff, all the stuff. So I just get up to crafting whatever I feel like doing, but mostly knitting. So if you are not new here, thanks for coming back once again, for checking me out. I am not a well-organized machine here, so it is just me, and I ramble and I forget things, and that's what it is. But you can follow me on Instagram as The Cat Lady. That's The Cat Lady, all one word. Also on Facebook. I have a Discord server that we chat in. That is linked below. I have a Coffee account if you'd like to donate a couple bucks to the cause of doing make-alongs and stuff, which I'm going to talk about today. I have no plans exactly yet, but it's in the works very slowly. But you can donate $1 or $2, and that helps me get prizes for you guys so we can do some crafting together. I live in Michigan with my 2 kids, my husband, and my cat. And I think that's all the intro stuff. So this year, I've determined I am not casting on anything new until I finish my WIPS. That does not include my sock machine though. And that doesn't include, I guess, small projects if something comes my way. But as far as like knitting, I'm not putting any more knitting things on the needles or crochet projects on my hooks until I clear the ones I have. That is my goal. However, and last episode, I'm like, I only have these 3 WIPs. No, I found more, but they don't count. They don't exactly count. One of them counts. The ones that don't count is I have my spinning I forgot about. So I've been working on these odds and ends. Okay, it counts in a way that I'm not going to put on a new spinning project until I finish this spinning project. So I'm working on a Turkish spindle, and it's these little tiny bits of fiber from Into the World, and they make just like little mini skeins. And I'm racking my brain on what to do with the mini skeins. Still haven't figured that out because this is my third bag, and I have another, I don't know. I have a lot of these. This might be my 3rd bag, and I think I just bought another bag, so I have a 4th bag. I think that's what it is. So this is a pretty one though. So I should work on that. So I have that project, which maybe I'll do today because I really am. I'm in a bit of a funk, and I'll explain why. Because I don't want to work on my WIPs right now. But that's living in my Space Cats bag. I love this bag. I made that bag. The second one that doesn't count is my weaving project. You remember when I started a weaving project? It's been a while since I worked on that, but it's a pin loom project. So I have this Zoom loom. It makes little squares. I've made one complete project with it that came out really nice, and it was a pain in the butt, but I actually really like how it turned out. It was a shawl that you had to make all these tiny squares and then seam them together. So in the end, I feel like it was worth it because it's a cool looking shawl. But I was going to make a bunch of placemats, and I have all this really fun yarn from Fiber Dog Fibers in these little speckled colors, and they're all different colors, like rainbow colors. It's called Rainbow Stars. And I make all these squares. And then I was going to take them and basically I was going to be a placemat, and I was going to alternate of a red, like whatever color, so say red square, black square, red square, black square, and then make like a checkerboard pattern. And it would be like 4 by 3, I think would be a nice sized placemat. And so each one would be a different color. And yeah, let's see. So these are all the ones I've done. So I have and so I bought a second set because I need more. So like if I did color, there were 2 colors per row. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not right. I don't know, maybe I ended up buying 2 so I could make a whole mat in the same. I don't even know what my plan was anymore, but I have plenty of yarn. I have the solid black from her to kind of, it's a very kind of rustic-y yarn, so it's not really a wearing type yarn. So that's why I thought like something like placemats would look really cool to put on my table. Because I have a wooden table in the dining room that doesn't really have anything on it, and that would look nice. Or I can make some kind of like table runner and put them all together. But anyways, all it is, it's a real, again, maybe I'll work on this too. These are all really simple, like sit in bed project. Well, then spinning really isn't, but this is actually a fun, just sit in bed, watch TV, and make squares. So maybe I will pull that out. I will put that in there too. Put the next color in there, finish the reds. Put that in there. Okay. And that is living in my Legend of Zelda bag, which I've also made, which I also love. I love this fabric. So that is my cool Zelda bag, which looks like I got a stain on it, but kind of goes with the fabric. I wonder if that's like, almost looks like a rusty stain. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. So that's WIP number 2. That sort of doesn't count, but honestly, I guess it counts in the sense that I will not cast on another weaving project until that one is done. Third project. Totally forgot about it until I was like in my Ravelry page looking at stuff. I am trying to design like a very long bulky cowl, and I made one for a Jim's coworker last year, I believe. I think it was last year, and it's 3 colors, and I need to find the notes for it because now I lost the notes that I had written down. But it basically it's gonna go into the next color. I'm ready to start. Am I ready to start the next color? No. I'm working on the transition here. So I'm going into, yeah, I don't know. It's been a while, but I was 3 colors. This mustard, rust, and black. It's the 3 colors. So I need to work on that. And this is relatively simple because it's bulky. And then I gotta write a pattern to determine if what I'm gonna do with it. So, but that is that. That is living in my happy little yarn bag with the kitties on it. She doesn't have bags currently, but she might have bags again. But they're nice and sturdy. They're big. It's got this cool handle on it. She's got a little, oh, this one's got like shiny tag on it. But happy little yarn. She also has a podcast, Happy Little Yarn. Look that up. A YouTube channel. I'm never going to let it go. Okay. So those are my other WIPs that I forgot about. So add that to the WIP pile. Onto, I guess this is a WIP, but this is a WIP that doesn't count, but I added a square to my blanket. And I'm in the middle of another square, so I almost added 2 squares to my blanket. So this is a fleechy stripes. It's a sparkly pink. I don't know if you can see, but I got a little bit left there. So still kind of trying to do that every so often, but it's losing its luster. So that's that. Other things I wanted to talk about. So I forgot to mention last week. Yes, was it? Yes, I forgot to mention at the end of last week that I was in touch with Knit Picks and I got a refund for my crazy broken fleechy. I still have not made socks with it. I'm still pretty confident I have plenty. I just won't have any leftovers, which is fine. But what happened was there were knots in it, both skeins, so they come in 250-gram skeins. Both skeins had a knot, and then the stripes decided to reverse. So it's not even, it's bad enough that it's got a knot because it's going to shorten a stripe and it's going to look funny. But the fact that the knot then reversed the whole color order, I had to like untangle all the yarn or undo all the yarn, figure out where the right parts were, cut out a bunch of chunks, and I like my socks to match. And I should have matching socks if I want them. So it should work out. So now they're set up to match and I should have enough. I always do, with the striping, I always do a contrast toe and heel because I like to maintain the stripes and I don't like these weird things that happen when you don't. Especially with the machine knitting because you work your toe as you would a heel. So it like curls back up on itself. Essentially, so you know when you're hand knitting a toe, you're going around and around and you're decreasing and then you're Kitchener-ing just the end. On the machine, you are working increases and then you're working your decreases and then you Kitchener the top of the foot or whatever, either the top or the bottom. So here's the top of your heel, your kitcheneering across here. So if you're continuing your stripe pattern along the heel and it comes back up, so it looks really weird if I have a sample. I did a pair that, yeah, had like one weird little line there and it just looked funky. And it happens on the heels too. If you're doing the short row heel, you have like weird things that happen if your stripes are used up on the heel. So I hate that. I'm not an OCD type person. I don't care about things. I'll wear mismatched socks and whatever, but like when I make my striped socks, I want them to match most of the time. So like this pair couldn't match anyways. That was beyond my control. But this one's like funky enough that it's like it's obvious, but it's not like super obvious. I mean, it's obvious because of the yellow mainly, but I don't know. It's fine. That doesn't like bother me, but it's when like flat out striped colors, like I like them better if they match. Or I need them to blatantly not match, but in like a specific way. I don't know. I can't explain myself. I don't know. But anyways, I got a refund because they don't have that color anymore because I ordered that a couple of years ago, probably, or 2 summers ago. So they just credited my account. I kind of wish they would have gave me I'm honestly surprised, but I wish they would have gave me a gift card to the store because then I would have went in and bought more, which I don't need to. Part of my resolution is also not to buy more yarn unless it's for a specified project. I have gift cards for Joann's, so if I have things I want to do that are fun or silly on my AliExpress knitting machine or something like that, even though I don't know, still got plenty over here. But if there's something specific that I see that I want to make, that I need to buy yarn, then I will buy it. If I go to a festival, again, if I have a plan, maybe, at least an inkling of a plan of what I'm going to do with it. No more like single skein wonders because I have way too many of those that don't go together. So that is part of my goal. So it's maybe good that I didn't get money to spend at Nivix because it wasn't much. It was like $12 because Felici's pretty inexpensive. It was on like a 10% sale because it was like a bundle. So back to socks. I finished cranking David's socks on the Erlbacher Speedster. And look at that. Look at how they match. See, isn't that just so pretty? It's just a matching socks. Looks so nice. So those match, and like David don't care, but this is the Felici 8-bit yarn with a black heel and toe. It's a Serenity sock. So yeah, I'd like to buy a bunch of Knit Pick Stroll for like contrast heel and toe because I'm working through the white and black Serenity sock and it's very thin. I mean, Felici's kind of thin too, but I don't know. I feel like something a little more sturdier for my heels and toes would be nicer and more color options because I just have black and white. So I'm kind of just making black and white work. But it worked here. And these are for David. I can give those to him. Something going on here. A little end sticking out, but anyways. And then, since David's got smaller feet, and I did the contrast toe and heel, I had this much left. So I decided I would attempt to crank out a pair of heel tab socks for me, which is a sock with a little tab above the heel. And it's a shorty sock, and it's just meant to, ooh, that's kind of funny. Just meant to be more of a casual summer sock, maybe. Cute to wear with like Converse shoes. So there is my heel tab. I made one. I still have to make the second one. And this is how much yarn I had left. So just enough. So this will go into my scrappy pile and I will make the second one at some point. I'm kind of in, it's almost lunchtime. So I think I'm going to pause and have lunch and then we'll see if I get to, oh, that's what happened. Okay, so I keep looking at this. There's this one row that like looks a little weird. Well, there's a thing called a heel spring on these machines. I will try to do some videos of using the machine. I did mention, I did a quick question on Instagram. Some people said, yeah, we'd be interested. And they'd just be more just showing you what I do. I'm by far no expert, no nothing, but I can show you what I do because I can make a sock and I find it hard to find a lot of information that's like easy to follow. So I could try as a beginner to make easy to follow videos for people who are also beginners. theoretically, but again, it would be not like, it would be just like, this is what I do. So, but back to the problem here. So, and I know exactly what the problem is, which is good. I'm learning. There's a thing called a heel spring, and the way the yarn flows into the machine, it's designed to crank one certain way and you get a proper tension. But when you have to crank back in reverse, the yarn doesn't have that same tension. So you put it through this little device that creates tension, basically, coming back the other way. Because when you're doing the heel, you're doing short rows. So you're going back and forth over across only a handful of needles. So then that builds it up, and you're slowly increasing or decreasing your needles, and then back to increasing, blah, blah, blah. I forgot to put after I took off the contrast yarn and put the green yarn back in, or the bleachy back in, I forgot to put it through the heels. I knit the whole sock on the heel spring, and that's contested thing. Some people are like, that's ridiculous. The heel spring is for the heel and the show. But I forget a lot. And I like the tighter tension because it creates more tension on the yarn. So I like the tighter tension. I don't like having to remember to disengage it and re-engage it all the time. So I leave it on all the time. But since I changed yarn, I forgot to load the new yarn through it for one row. I realized it halfway, like through the first row. So you can see it's a little looser right there. So it makes a difference. Once I wash it, it won't be as noticeable. And once it's on my foot, you definitely won't know. So that's fine. So I'm rambling as usual. And if you are new, I do clips throughout the week and then post on Fridays. So this is just Tuesday's clip. So I will be back with more clips of things. So see you in the next clip. Oh, hey, it's still Tuesday. I forgot one more thing. So here is my extra clip for today. I had some major sweater issues. So I made some progress on my sweater and then proceeded to rip it all out. And it was tedious because I'm alternating skeins and I ripped back to way before my lifeline. So my lifeline meant nothing. So this is where we stand. We're back to where you saw it last week before I done anything. Way back up to the stitch marker. I didn't move that stitch marker. So this is the stitch marker that you saw prior, and I had knit like 20 rows and started the ribbing. I'm back here. I'm back to the stitch marker. So we are just above, or just like mid-bust, basically. And I started to work the ribbing, and it was like flaring. Now I know I had a cord in there, obviously, but it's too big. It's too big. It's not going to cinch up that much. So I need to do some decreasing. And so I consulted my Discord server because they are very friendly and helpful, and also decided to I all of a sudden realized, hey, I've done a ribbed top. So My Secret Crop by Jessie Made Designs is a tank top thing that's all ribbed. It's 3x3, which then I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So I'm switching to 3x3, and I'm going off those numbers for what I want for fitted fit. And, so I am going, where is it? Okay. So I'm currently at, similar. I'm not taking her exact count, but I'm taking her count at all, but I am taking the 3x3. So I can share my numbers because they're not the same in the pattern. Hers is a paid pattern. This is free. So my size right now is currently 172 stitches. Doing the measurements and my gauge, I should be at, to fit my waist, it should be 145 stitches. So to get a number divisible by 6, which would be 3x3, I need 144 stitches to match that fitted, and that's fitted stockinette. So ribbing's gonna stretch, so that'll give me the stretch I need to go down to my hip area. It's not gonna be very long. It's gonna be somewhat shorter top anyways, but to go, now I'm thinking that has a 1x1 ribbing at the edge. I probably will still put a ribbing at the bottom. But we'll get back to that. Maybe not, because I don't know. Or, see, I don't know why I do this to myself. So anyways, in order to do that, I need to get like, I think I determined about 14 rows of decreasing. So 28 stitches of decreasing. Or, oh, no, okay. No, 28 stitches of decreasing divided by 2. So one stitch each side would be 28 rows. I don't know how far I went back, if that's what I'm going to do, or if I'm going to do 4. No, actually, no, I'm set it up to do 4, and I don't know how this is going to work either. I think I'm going to do 4 stitches per side every other row. So that would be 14 rows of decreasing. Is that going to be too fast to decrease? I don't know. This is why I'm just like, okay, we're just not working on this right now because it needs to be in timeout while I think about it. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to do 2 decreases at each side every other row for 14 rows because I only have about like 20 rows to play with before I want to start the ribbing. But that'll get me down to my 144 stitch count. And then I can do the ribbing. And then I got to determine, yeah, like, I think that's fine. Okay, so that's my plan. That is also living in a happy little yarn bag from Amy. Cheetah print. There's a label. So that's it. Now I will see you in the next clip on a different day. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, and I'm here with an update, and I have successfully avoided my knitting this week. That sweater that currently it's in a timeout, basically. I know what I'm going to do, but I'm like hesitant to start because, you know, I don't want to like do all the work again and then have to rip it out again. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's in timeout. So in the meantime, I've been busy with other things, non-knitting things. So I believe I showed you what was on my spindle. This is the Into the World odds and ends. So I finished my odd or end, and that was on there, which it was about halfway done, I think. Or no, I had just started it. So I finished a whole little mini this week, the last couple days. It needs to be washed and stuff still. That was done on my Turkish spindle with the cat cutouts by Snyder Spindles. See the cats there. I know you couldn't see it before. And then I have pre-drafted a little, some of them are a little tight, stiff, I guess. My next one. So this will be my next little bit of fluff to put on here. And I don't know if this one has been washed or not. I want to say no since it's still in my bag, so maybe I need to wash that one too. That was another one at some point. So that is done. So there's a mini faux in my cat bag. And I have been working on my pin loom. So it's my shocked zoom loom. And I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 squares. So I finished up the red squares that was left, and 4 the light blue squares. So there's a dark blue and a light blue in the series. I got this much of that left and this much red left, so not much. Where is the big bag? Oh, there it is. So each mini gives me, that varies, but let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oranges out of it. I gotta cut my hands off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 red out of there. Most of them I think are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 purple. 1, 2, 3, 5 purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow. So I think I banked on 5 being there. So yeah, so what was I gonna, so 5 per mini. So okay, so yeah, that's what I was planning for my placemat. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then black would fill in the blanks. So we'd go black, color, black, color, color, black, color, black, color. Oh, I don't even know. I have another set though, so I have 10 squares total to play with. And I'm making a 4x3, so it's 12. So I won't use them all. Or I don't know. Or I'll make like some colorful, like rainbow ones. I don't know. I just knew I needed another set because 5 wasn't going to be enough. Even with the blacks, I don't think. So, so let's see. I need to pull these out because I need to cut the ends off. Pardon me, pardon me. Okay. So that is what I've been doing. So these are all done. These will go in my finished bag. So here's the darker blue. So that'll be my next one. So it's a more darker specks of blue. So we will just put that in here. Get that out. And we are good to go. And that is in my Zelda bag. And that's what I've been doing. So, and that's what I will continue to be doing. I'm not working on my sweater this week. It is taking a break. So next week, I will attempt to bust it out because I do really want to finish it. So, I need a haircut. I haven't done any sock cranking. I do have, so I have this spun up. This is the Felici that I got a refund for. I don't have the pattern. I was going to try that diamond shaped pattern that was like kind of this like rotating diamond with a little bit of ribbing on top. So that's going to be a tricky one because I have to use my ribber, which I've only successfully used once. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of ribbing at the top. I'm going to follow the pattern. She does like 5 or 6 rows of ribbing, and then she does this diamond pattern thing. And it will be contrast heels, which black. It'll be black heels. There's black. There's kind of a darker grayish black. It's not black, but it's dark. You can't see it, but it's like a dark gray. So the black yarn would be better than the white on that, I think. I like it to be, I don't like it to be like super contrasty. I like to just be kind of a blend in contrast. So that's it. But I probably won't get to that this week either. So I'm enjoying just working on my spinning and my weaving. This is a pretty easy travel project. I took it to piano with me, sit in the car or whatever. David's piano. And this is just a nice sit downstairs and listen to podcasts and spin. So I will be back with one more update tomorrow to close out the episode. And I am also trying to make it a thing to wear a hand knit item every day. Shawl. Let me say shawl. Hand knit shawl every day. Because I have so many of them and I never wear them. Like, how many times have I worn this? I don't know, like twice ever. This is the Gallatin scarf. It is no longer available. Which is kind of a bummer because it was a cool pattern. This was mandala, Lion Brand mandala yarn, so it was a color kind of changing. It was one skein of that, and I liked this color choice, and I believe it's knit from this. I think, no, do you start, no, you start it here, and then go down, I believe. I don't remember, it was a long time ago, but my picture of me and my scarf, or the scarf, I think it's me and my scarf, is on their page, which of course is, again, it's not, or is it paid for now? I don't remember. I got it for free, but maybe now it's paid for. Maybe that was the change. But I had gotten it when it was free, and I still have a printout. Like, I feel like I couldn't access it anymore, I thought, and I had to find the printout. I don't remember, but I will link it down below regardless. And I can show you this bag. I have this giant bag of shawls, and I have another one just like it. So I'm going to start working through my bag of shawls. I don't go anywhere. So it's just literally me wearing a shawl in the house. Half the time, well, I won't say half the time. A lot of the time, I don't even get dressed. Like, that's not true either. I do get dressed most of the time. But not all the time. I change at like 3 o'clock a lot of the times because I will be dressed by the time my family gets home. Shh, super secret. So I don't know. Maybe this will encourage me to get dressed earlier so I can enjoy my hand knits around my house. I am going to the store today, so the grocery store, but I will have a jacket on so no one's going to see it. And in other news, I've been walking on the treadmill. It's day 2. It's okay. It's cold outside. It's wet outside. I don't want to go outside. I get to wear my pajamas if I'm walking on the treadmill, so that's a positive. I watched podcasts today while I was on the treadmill, so that's 2 positives. So let's focus on the positives. I can watch podcasts while I walk, and I can wear my pajamas. And I can have a drink with me and not have to hold it. So these are those 3. Just chalking up the positives. So I need to be active. So I am trying to walk. I walked for 2 miles yesterday and today. So that is my goal for now. I will slowly up that. I'll either up the speed I'm walking 2 miles because I'm walking pretty slow. Or I will up the mileage. So I have bad knees. So I need to ease into it. I get hip pain if I go too heavy, so I have to do it slow. I still have shoulder pain that comes and goes, and I feel like we're in the season of it's kind of bothering me again. So all this, I think walking is going to help with everything. So that is my fitness PSA. So I will be back tomorrow in the next clip. Hey guys, it's the last clip of the week. It is Friday, yay! It's Friday the 13th. I'm not I'm not particularly superstitious, so. I have just a small snippet of updates of what I did yesterday, basically. I finished my mini. This one gave me some trouble. I don't know if it was just like underspun in a few parts, so still needs to be washed. I think it'll be fine. Again, I mean, once I knit or crochet with it, it'll be fine. So that's that one. And I did pick out another one. So my next one will be this one. It's really pretty. Oranges and blues and greens. So that will be next. And I did finish up the light blue squares. So I got 2 squares weaving. And I started the dark blue, which, oh my gosh, I love this blue. This is such a pretty blue. The blue and the black together look really nice. Like, I just love those. So this one, it's like enjoyable watching the little patterns form. And I don't know, it's just, there's something really satisfying about finishing one of these little squares, because it's like this little mini finished product, and they're, I should time myself. They're pretty quick to make. So got 3 squares done. And I wrote out how I plan on doing my placemat. So it's going to be 15 squares. So we have 5 across. They're about 4 inches a piece, but by the time you seam it together, you're going to lose the sides. So I'd say about 3.5 inches a piece. So that's like, so is that like 16 inches across? Like 15? I don't know. I feel like it looked like I laid it out, and I feel like it looked like a good side. Plans could change. But 4 didn't seem like enough, actually. So I think it's got to be 5. Anyways, and this is how it's going to be set out. So the colored in marks are the colored squares. So I'll need 7 colored squares, and then 8. Oh, maybe I should change that. Okay, scratch that. I'm going to reverse that because I'd like to use more of the colored squares. So 8 colored squares. So the empty squares are the colored spots. I was thinking originally I want color in the middle, but I want more color in there. So 8 squares will be the colors, and the squiggly marks, those will be black. So that is the plan. Yes, that is my plan. So I'll need 8 squares. So far, 1 mini either gives me 5 or 6. So I will have more than enough minis. And here's the whole set. Actually, I can show you real quick since I have it. This is, I don't want to crinkle it too much. There's a label. Fiber Dog Fibers. There is the whole set of minis. It's a little glittery, but so I have that. And then I have just some black, which actually isn't probably going to be as fun because it's black and it's going to be like hard to see a little bit. But the weaving, it's pretty open. So, you know, and you're just going in and out. It won't be that bad. I mean, this is mostly black anyways. So I'm not wearing a shawl today, but I'm wearing my Ripple Bralette. Is that what that's called? I don't even know. But I will put the link in below. By Jessie Made Designs. I have 2 of her patterns. I have this one, and then I have My Secret Crop or whatever, which was a DK version of very similar to this. I think this was the Ripple though. I don't even know. So, and I just put a sports bra underneath it just because. And I don't know, I'm trying to wear my stuff. Like, again, I'm not going anywhere. I just got off the treadmill and I just put on my little tracksuit thing and just gonna wander around my house, and that's fine. So I made them for myself to enjoy, so that's what we'll do. Oh, and lastly, I almost forgot again. I finished cranking the socks. So at the beginning of this episode, I showed you the one sock, and they're inside out right now, but I'm not gonna put them back because I need to wash them. They still need to be washed. So both socks are done. My little heel tab socks. They do not match the way I'd like. The darn little stripe at the bottom. This one's good. It's got like 3, and this one's only got like 2. So it's fine. No one's going to notice, but you know, I don't like that weird small stripe at the bottom as much. Prefer if it was a little bigger. So that is, I need to learn how to do toe-up socks on the machine. It is possible, but I don't know how. So, but that would be a game changer for me, I think, because I usually hand knit toe-up. So if I could do machine knit toe-up, then I don't know what to do with the cuff. I guess ribbing, but then I don't know how to bind off. Whole nother set of things. And then this was the diamond pattern. It's called the dominoes. This domino pattern that, let's see, 1 up, 2 down, 1 up. So just made this little kind of a patterny looking thing. So I'm gonna try that sometime probably next week. This weekend I'm gonna work on, I'm just gonna keep working on my weaving and spinning, honestly. So I know it's gonna be a little boring. But then next week we are going to, well, no, it's not gonna be boring because you're not gonna see that. You'll see the update next week, but I will pick up my sweater. If I don't pick up that sweater, I will pick up my Very Vero sweater. One of my WIPS will be picked up. And I will work on my machine again. So that's my plan. I hope everyone has a good week, and I hope you get to craft all the things.